This is SMNI News Channel. Truth that matters.
In the headlines, Luzon battered, homes submerged, Typhoon Uwan or Fungwang tore through North Luzon, leaving flooded streets, uprooted trees, and shattered homes in its wake. A rare call for peace. Taiwan's Vice President Hsiao Bi-khim returned to Taipei after speaking at the European Parliament, urging democratic allies to deepen cooperation and guard the Taiwan Strait. School prayers rocked by blasts. More than 50 injured when two explosions hit a mosque inside a Jakarta high school. Police say a 17-year-old student is the suspect. World leaders in the Amazon. In Belém, Brazil, dozens of heads of state gathered to reaffirm their pledge to fight the climate crisis ahead of COP30. Petro slams EU and CELAC. Colombian President Gustavo Petro criticized the decision-making rules of CELAC and the European Union, saying they stifle action and limit effectiveness. Bridging Beijing and Washington. President Donald Trump calls his meeting with Xi Jinping in Busan a positive step in U.S.-China ties, while dismissing the New York Times criticism as fake news. Michael Jackson takes the spotlight. The official trailer for Michael has shattered records, becoming the most watched music biopic trailer in history in just 24 hours. I'm Carlo de la Peña. Newsline World starts now. In the news, dozens of world leaders gathered in the Amazonian city of Belém this week to reaffirm their commitment to tackling the global climate crisis ahead of the official opening of the COP30. Carla will give us the details.
In plenary and bilateral meetings, leaders stressed the persistent inequality in climate action, urging wealthy nations to meet their financial pledges to developing countries. Experts said rich countries have fallen short in reducing emissions and providing promised adaptation funds. Ireland's Foreign Minister Michael Martin reaffirmed support for vulnerable nations, while Brazil's Minister of Cities, Jader Filho, highlighted ongoing environmental investments. Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva called for a new economic model, linking climate action with equitable development, emphasizing that a just transition can occur without halting wealth creation. He warned that regions most vulnerable to climate change, including parts of Latin America, Africa, and Asia, risk becoming uninhabitable without urgent action. Democratic Republic of the Congo President Felix Tshisekedi noted that peace negotiations with Rwanda were nearing completion, linking regional instability to competition over natural resources. Venezuelan Foreign Minister Ivan Gil accused Western powers of using the rhetoric of energy transition to maintain control over global resources, calling it energy neocolonialism, and highlighting the need for technological access and energy sovereignty for developing nations. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez urged the EU to finalize its trade agreement with Mercosur, framing it as a step towards stronger partnership between Europe and Latin America. He emphasized Europe's commitment to climate action despite the absence of some major powers. COP30 marks 33 years since the Rio Earth Summit and a decade since the Paris Agreement. The summit aims to strengthen global commitments to limit warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius and accelerate financial support for developing countries. Officials say success depends on turning promises into measurable results and ensuring no nation is left behind in the transition to a low-carbon future. For God in my beloved Philippines, Carla Abellana, SMNI News.
Colombian President Gustavo Petro has openly criticized the statutes of the Community of Latin American and Caribbean States and the European Union, saying their decision-making systems limit the organization's ability to act effectively. Joy Tabanao reports.
In Colombia, President Gustavo Petro criticized the policies of the Community of Latin American and Caribbean States, or CELAC, as well as those of the European Union, during the fourth joint summit held in the city of Santa Marta on the Caribbean coast. According to Petro, CELAC statutes are ineffective because they require full consensus before any decision can be made. He stressed that the system must be changed, as it hinders the organization's ability to act.
Bien, no puedo hablar a nombre del conjunto de la CELAC. Tiene unos estatutos que hacen que todo sea por consenso. Yo creo que deben ser cambiados, pero es un asunto que la CELAC debe acometer porque le quita operatividad, le quita capacidad. Nunca habrá unanimismo entre los pueblos del mundo y entre los gobiernos. Y cualquier gobierno en América Latina dentro de la CELAC puede decir no y no se hace.
Alongside his remarks, the Colombian leader also condemned U.S. attacks in the Caribbean Sea, comparing them to the ongoing bombings in Gaza.
Cuando caen bombas en Gaza, y aún hoy caen bombas, y un pueblo ha sido masacrado, y ahora caen misiles en el Caribe, los mismos, la misma fabricación de los que caen en Gaza, caen aquí sobre personas pobres todas.
According to government data, 70 people have been killed and 18 boats destroyed in 17 attacks across the Caribbean and Pacific, reportedly as part of the U.S. anti-drug operation. Topics discussed during the meeting also included trade, transnational crime, ecological transition, and regional security. Joy Tabanao, your citizen correspondent reporting for Newsline World.
Bolivian President Rodrigo Paz's inauguration, held Saturday, was attended by Chinese President Xi Jinping's special envoy, Li Guoying. This also coincides with their first Bolivia-China bilateral meeting in La Paz. During the meeting, Li emphasized China's strong commitment to its relations with Bolivia and expressed willingness to work with the new administration to elevate the strategic partnership between the two countries and bring greater benefits to their citizens. Paz, in turn, expressed his sincere gratitude to Xi Jinping for sending a special envoy to the inauguration. He reaffirmed Bolivia's adherence to the One China principle and expressed the desire to deepen cooperation across various sectors to strengthen bilateral ties further. The bilateral meeting aims to enhance projects in the economy, education, technology, and other sectors as part of the ongoing strategic partnership between the two nations. President Claudia Sheinbaum and Emmanuel Macron's plan to deepen bilateral cooperation in trade, technology, and culture between Mexico and France. The details from Jane Cognita.
At the National Palace in Mexico City, Presidents Claudia Sheinbaum and Emmanuel Macron met to strengthen ties between Mexico and France ahead of the 200th anniversary of their diplomatic relations next year. Macron reaffirmed France's commitment to national sovereignty in the fight against drug trafficking, saying cooperation must be based on respect and international law. He also reiterated France's stance on the EU-Mercosur trade agreement, stressing that the current version fails to protect French agriculture and calling for a new proposal with stronger safeguards.
C'est dans ce cadre de respect que nous comptons agir. Nous avons nous-mêmes lancé une politique ambitieuse de lutte contre les narcotrafiquants et nous sommes en train de préparer, le travail se poursuit, une coopération accrue en matière douanière et en matière de sécurité sur ce sujet. Mais la souveraineté de chacun doit être pleinement respectée en la matière.
Macron described Mexico as a strategic partner and emphasized shared values of freedom and dignity rooted in their historical ties. He announced the relaunch of the Franco-Mexican Strategic Council to enhance business exchanges and investment visibility between both nations. President Sheinbaum, on her part, highlighted cooperation in renewable energy, technology, and innovation. She also announced that Mexico and France will renew their trade agreement with Europe in 2026, alongside the bicentennial of their diplomatic relations.
En el próximo año renovamos el tratado comercial con Europa, mientras se cumplen también 200 años de la relación diplomática México-Francia, incluso en nuevas áreas de desarrollo tecnológico y de innovación como la digital, la de energías renovables.
The visit marks the first official trip of a French president to Mexico in over a decade, reinforcing a centuries-long relationship built on shared heritage and forward-looking cooperation. This has been Jane Cudniter, Global Citizen Correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
U.S. President Donald Trump says his latest meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping marks a positive step in U.S.-China relations, claiming the two sides reached economic understanding in Busan, while downplaying criticism from the New York Times, which he accused of fake news. Trump took to social media, wherein he said that China agreed to scale back its rare earths threat, boost agricultural imports from the United States, and accept higher tariff payments. He described the outcome as a big victory for the USA and said both sides have plans for continued talks. Trump emphasized what he called a strong personal relationship with Xi, framing the Busan meeting as part of the ongoing efforts to stabilize cooperation despite strategic rivalries. Trump's comments also included renewed criticism of the New York Times and two of its reporters, claiming that the talks between him and Xi were spun in a negative light. The US president's post marks his recent criticism of major US media outlets. The engagement happened during the APEC summit, where Washington and Beijing faced pressure to show progress amid lingering trade and security disputes. Up next, Luzon battered, homes submerged. Typhoon Uwan or Fungwong tore through North Luzon, leaving flooded streets, uprooted trees, and shattered homes in its wake. A rare call for peace, Taiwan's Vice President Hsiao Bi-khim returned to Taipei after speaking at the European Parliament, urging democratic allies to deepen cooperation and guard the Taiwan Strait. School prayers rocked by blasts. More than 50 injured when two explosions hit a mosque inside a Jakarta high school. Police say a 17-year-old student is the suspect. More news when Newsline World returns.
Isang pindot lang, pwede kang maka-jackpot. Mukhang masaya at easy money lang. Sa murang halaga, pwede ka na tumaya sa online gambling at e-casino apps. Mayroong sabong, slot machines, mahjong, poker at iba pa. Kailangan mo lang ng smartphone, e-wallet at internet. Pero ang aliw na ito, unti-unting nagiging bitag para sa mga Pilipino. Lalo na kung ang paborito mong artista o influencer ang mukha ng app. Mas madaling makaengganyo, diba? Parang safe naman kasi may kilalang mukha. Pero sa likod ng ngiti, sugal pa rin ang itinutulak. At syempre, mas madali ring itago ang pagkalulong sa bisyong ito. Walang pisikal na kasino o pasugalan, walang kaharap, walang accountability, kaya't mas lumalala ang adiksyon. Dagdag pa rito, maraming online gambling apps at walang regulasyon. Sa likod ng mga makukulay na interface at papremyo, nakatago ang problemang bumabalot ngayon sa bansa. Ang pagkalulong ng maraming Pilipino sa online gambling. Pwede maglaro kahit saan, kahit kailan, kahit sino, bata man o matanda, pwedeng malulong. Ayon sa mga eksperto, ang pagkakalulong sa online gambling ay nagdudulot ng matinding stress at anxiety, pagkakabaon sa utang, pagkawasak ng pamilya, pagkawala ng tiwala sa sarili. At tulad ng ibang bisyo, may mga senyales ito tulad ng hindi makapagpigil kahit walang pera, palihim na tumataya, pagpapabaya sa trabaho, pamilya o sarili. Sa bawat taya, may mga taong tunay na kumikita, mga malalaking negosyante at investors na negosyo ang bisyo ng masa. nila. Para sa kanila, perang pumapasok lang ito. Pero para sa ordinaryong Pilipino, kabuhayan at relasyon ang nauubos. At ang masakit, tila matagal itong nahayaan. Hindi ito naging prioridad ng mga nakaupo sa taas hanggang sa sobrang lumala at halos naapektuhan na ang buong komunidad. Ngayon, sa dami ng nalulung at sa laki ng pinsalang naidulot, sa kapalalong umugong ang mga panukalang batas para higpitan ng online gambling, gaya ng pagbabawal sa paggamit ng e-wallets para tumaya, pagtaas ng minimum bet, mas mahigpit na identity verification, pag-block ng mga illegal na gambling sites, at bawasan o ipagbawal ang mga ads na target ang kabataan. Maaari itong magmukhang laro lang, pero sa katotohanan, isa itong sugal sa kinabukasan. Ang kita na dapat sa mga pangunahing pangangailangan o ipon na uubos sa sugal. At sa mundo ng online gambling, mas madali kang matalo kaysa manalo. Huwag hayaang sugal ang magdikta sa iyong buhay. Isang paalala mula sa SMNI.
Maging alerto at handa tuwing may bagyo. Upang manatiling ligtas, narito ang ilang mahahalagang paalala. Manatili sa loob ng bahay. Iwasan ang paglabas, lalo na kung malakas ang ulan at hangin. Mag-imbak ng pagkain at malinis na tubig. Maghanda ng emergency kit. Manatiling updated sa lagay ng panahon. Maghanda ng mga flashlight at extra baterya. Panatilihing fully charged ang iyong cellphone. I-secure ang mahahalagang dokumento sa waterproof na lalagyan. Patayin ang kuryente, gas at tubig kung may banta ng pagbaha. Alamin ang iyong local emergency hotlines. Putulin o tapyasan ang mga sanga ng puno na maaaring mabuwal sa malakas na ulan at hangin. Lumikas agad kung inabisuhan ng mga otoridad. Maging ligtas at maging handa sa panahon ng kalamidad. Ang paalalang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng SMNI.
Ikaw ba ay namomroblema sa taas ng electric bill buwan-buwan? Huwag mag-alala, narito ang ilang paraan upang makatipid sa kuryente. Patayin ang mga ilaw at appliances kapag hindi ginagamit. Sa halip ay gumamit ng natural na liwanag upang makatipid sa kuryente. Tanggalin sa saksakan ang mga appliances kung hindi ginagamit. Iwasan ang paggamit ng maraming appliances ng sabay-sabay. Gumamit ng LED bulbs. Ito ay mas tipid sa kuryente kumpara sa mga incandescent at fluorescent bulbs. Regular na linisin ang mga appliances tulad ng electric fan, aircon vents at refrigerator. Magkaroon ng takdang araw sa isang linggo sa pamamalansya at paglalaba. Gumamit ng energy-efficient appliances. Tandaan, maging wais sa paggamit ng kuryente upang makatipid para mas gumaan ang buhay. Ang paalalang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng SMNI.
Communities across the Bicol region are reeling from the impact of Typhoon Uwan or Phongwong, which unleashed widespread flooding, powerful winds, and heavy damage to homes, roads, and key infrastructure. Jason Rubico will give us the details.
Emergency teams continue to battle dangerous conditions as the full scale of Uwan's devastation unfolds, with flood waters rising and vital roads blocked. For now, the Bicol region remains in the grip of one of the most powerful storms to strike the Philippines this year. In Viracatanduanes, streets in downtown, including Barangay San Roque, leading to the National Road and the ARDCI main building, turned into waterways as flood waters rapidly rose. Residents in San Antonio Tigaon and Garcio Torrena in Camarines Sur also experienced intense winds and torrential rain as the storm moved across the region. In San Jose Camaligan, Camarines Sur, strong winds and heavy rainfall nearly collapsed the Camaligan Hanging Bridge, as seen in footage captured by a resident. Fishermen and Enrica, Garci Torrena, Camarines Sur struggled to save their boats from pounding waves. According to the video uploader, several boats have already been damaged after being pushed together along the shoreline. In Labo, Camarines Norte, residents faced powerful gusts of wind as the super typhoon intensified. Giant waves and relentless rains battered the town of Jose Panganiban in Camarines Norte on Sunday, with the typhoon continuing its destructive path. The Viga Panganiban Road was rendered impassable after a large tree toppled due to the strong winds. Massive waves and fierce winds also hit the Pio Duran port in Albay, while parts of the provincial center were inundated by floods. In San Francisco, Polangi, Albay, the river swelled with dangerously strong currents as the storm persisted. The old wall of Ibalon Central School in Barangay Orisite, Legazpi City collapsed under the force of the typhoon. Philippine National Railways tracks in Ginobatan, Albay were also damaged after the foundation of a nearby bridge weakened due to heavy flooding and strong winds. At the Bicol Medical Center, shattered glass littered the first and second floors of one building after being struck by the strong winds brought by Super Typhoon Uwan. According to the video uploader, RJ Marciliana, all patients and staff are safe and no injuries were reported. Uwan may be weakening as it churns inland, but authorities warn the danger is far from over. Communities across Luzon Island continue to brace for what the storm could still leave in its wake. Reporting for Newsline World, I am Jason Rubrico, SM9 News.
More than 300 individuals from 4 barangays in Pasay City are currently staying at the Malibay Central Plaza after being evacuated by the local government due to the effects of Typhoon Uwan. Department or PSWDD. The affected barangays include Barangay 144, Barangay 177, Barangay 162, and Barangay 165, areas that are often prone to flooding during heavy rains. Some residents did not hesitate to evacuate for their safety.
Kasi po yung bahay namin umuuga na doon sa Barangay 144. Kaya pinalipat kami dito ni Cap.
Kasi po, kaya kami lumikas dito po kasi tabing ilog po kami. Isa po, yung bahay po namin baba lang, wala po kaming taas. Siyempre, naranasan namin lagi mataas ang baha, wala kaming taas. Kaya natatakot lang, nagkapobya, katuloy nangyari sa Cebu. Kaya nag-desisyon ako sa mga anak ko na lumikas na tayo para tayo makasigurado.
Malakas po ang hangin may bagyo kasi. Kaya nagsabi kasi doon sa amin, pumunta na daw kami dito sa Malibay. Evacuate daw kasi baka unumipad yung bahay namin.
According to the record of the Evacuation Center Information Board at Malibay Plaza, a total of 89 families or 310 individuals are currently staying in the evacuation center. Most of the evacuees are children, elderly people, and solo parents. No injuries or fatalities have been reported. Inside the evacuation center, facilities such as a community kitchen, bathing area, toilets, and a health station have been set up to ensure the safety and cleanliness of the evacuees. Food, water, and relief goods continue to be distributed, while the city is still expected to experience occasional rains brought by Typhoon Uwan. A total of 21 modular tents are available at the evacuation center. As weather conditions improve, some evacuees have slowly begun returning to their homes. A family in Barangay Tibag, Baliwag, Bulacan spent the night under a bridge after floodwaters gradually entered their small home amid the onslaught of Super Typhoon Uwan in the country. Paul Montibon has the story.
Although Bulacan was not directly in the path of Super Typhoon Uwan, many residents still chose to prepare early and evacuate. They said it was better to leave than to risk losing lives, as material possessions can always be replaced if flood waters brought by the typhoon rise. Fortunately, residents of Barangay Tibag, Baliwag, Bulacan were seen safely taking temporary shelter as they waited for the weather to improve.
Opo, hinahakot na po namin paunti-unti yung mga gamit namin. Ngayon, patulad po niyan, medyo pinasok na po ng tubig yung gawin namin. Di na po namin naantayin tumaas pa lalo kasi Dati po na-experience namin yung talagang lumulubog po talaga lahat yan. Opo.
May takot ba sa ano?
Siyempre nakakatakot po kasi tulad po minsan mabilis ang pagtaas ng tubig noon. Hindi na po, kahit anong gamit wala na po kami na-idekas. Siyempre ayaw na po namin umalit yung ganun.
Sa mga regular na tanong nila, ano bang mga importante, yung bahay ba o buhay?
Siyempre buhay po, di ba? Kaya kahit may iwan mga gamit na wala na, mapapalitan naman po yan.
Kumusta naman po yung pag-stay sa evacuation?
Okay naman po, wala naman po ang problema kasi naka-open naman po yung mga rooms. Kaya okay naman po.
Ang mga pagkain?
Okay naman din po, kayo na po, may nagbigay na po kayo din si Mayor, si Mayora.
Sir, bakit kayo nandito sa evacuation?
Ayos naman kasi, sir, inano kami ni Mayora na lumikas na raw kami. Likas kami. Wala kami magagawa kundi lumikas. Ayaw man namin umalis sa bahay namin. Umalis kami.
Saan ba nakatira?
Ayun lang naman dyan sa kabila nito.
Pero malapit sa ilog?
Malapit sa ilog.
Kaya delikado?
Kaya umahon din kami, pero kasi baka dumating pa sa amin yung tubig, mahirapan kami.
But unlike others, we found Aling Ruby under the bridge, sleepless after spending the night hauling whatever belongings she could save when floodwaters entered their small home. Ganap na 2:00 ng madaling araw ngayong Lunes, November 10, 2025 nang makaranas ng malakas na bugso ng hangin at pagbuhos ng ulan dito sa Barangay Tibag, Baliwag, Bulacan at hudyat para sa sinasabing pagtama nga ng Super Typhoon Uwan dito sa ating bansa, partikular na sa malaking bahagi ng Luzon. At dito sa ilalim ng tulay na ito, dito sa Barangay Tibag, Baliwag, Bulacan, ay makikita natin yung mga gamit na ito mula yan sa pamilya ni Nanay Ruby dahil nga ayon sa kanya 9 pa ng gabi ng linggo ay inisa-isa na nila, inunti-unti na nila ang paglabas ng kanilang mga mahalagang gamit mula sa kanilang bahay.
Gawa po ng malaki po ang tubig ngayon, naabot na po yung bahay namin. Pinasok na po ng tubig baha. Kaya po, nag-evacuation po kami dito sa ilalim ng tulay.
So, hanggang kailan kayo tatagal ho dito?
Pagka bumaba na po ang tubig bukas, paano na rin po kami. Babalik na rin po kami sa dati.
Oo. Itong mga nasa likuran ho ninyo?
Mga gamit po namin.
Oo. Kumusta naman ho? Naisalba naman lahat yan?
Opo, kaya lang po, may rep ako na nasa loob pa ng bahay, hindi ko na nayano kasi mabigat po.
For people like them who struggle to make ends meet, they said they would rather see these calamities stop altogether as their livelihoods are immediately affected whenever disasters strike the country.
Kasi po napakahirap po pagka umabot pa po hanggang bukas, napakahirap po ang buhay. Lalo na po yung paghahanap buhay po. Isang ano na rin po. Ka-perwisyo rin po yun sa paghahanap buhay.
For God and my beloved country, the Philippines, reporting for Newsline World, this has been Paul Montibon, SMNI News.
Although Davao City is not directly affected by Typhoon Uwan, some areas in Mindanao continue to experience winds and heavy rains, while other parts experience no signs of rainfall. Details from Jean Domingo.
In Davao City, the weather remains warm with no signs of rainfall. However, authorities and residents continue to extend their sympathy to those directly affected by Super Typhoon Uwan, including several areas within Mindanao. Super Typhoon Uwan entered the Philippine area of responsibility on November 9. However, from November 9 up until this time, Davao City has not experienced adverse weather conditions. Meanwhile, moderate rains and strong gusts of winds were recorded in the provinces of Zamboanga del Sur, Zamboanga del Norte, Zamboanga Sibugay, Isabela City, and Maguindanao del Norte. There were also parts of strong winds and heavy rains in parts of northern Mindanao, including Bukidnon, Camiguin, Llano del Norte, Misamis Occidental, and Misamis Oriental. Cloudy weather conditions were observed in the Sorsogon region, including South Cotabato, Sultan Kudarat, Sarangani, as well as the provinces of Maguindanao del Norte and Maguindanao del Sur, Llano del Sur, Basilan, Sulu, Tawi-Tawi, and Cotabato City. In the Davao region, residents also experienced occasional rains and strong winds, but mostly no signs of rainfall. According to Pag-asa, small sea vessels and fishing boats are still not allowed to sail in some eastern coastal waters of Mindanao, especially in areas under gale warning. Aside from Davao City, where the weather remains clear and pleasant, reports were also gathered from several areas in Mindanao. In Malaybalay, Bukidnon, and Pagadian, residents experienced cloudy skies to partly fair weather, while Cagayan de Oro, parts of Siargao Island, and Digo City reported sunny conditions. However, despite a generally fair weather, authorities continue to remind the public to remain cautious and stay alert. For God and my beloved country, this has been Jean Domingo, SM9 News.
More than 50 people were injured when two explosions hit a mosque inside a Jakarta high school during Friday prayers, with police identifying a 17-year-old student as the suspected perpetrator. Police are seen sealing off the gated compound as black-clad officers armed with rifles secure the area. Authorities said the blast struck at around 12:15 p.m. local time, first at the back of the mosque, then seconds later near the entrance. Most of the victims were students, suffering from burns and blast wounds. A bomb disposal unit was deployed to collect evidence and clear the site.
Yang jelas pada jam 12.15 tadi di masjid atau musolanya SMA 72 ya Kodairal ini telah terjadi ledakan ya, telah diledakan, dan ledakan itu ada dua kali ya. Pertama di agak belakang, kedua dekat pintu musola atau masjid ya. Kemudian fakta yang lain, ada korban ya, ada korban yang terjadi itu 20 orang ya. 20 orang itu masih dirawat di rumah sakit.
Officials confirmed that no fatalities have been reported so far, and a weapon initially found at the scene was later identified as a toy gun. Paulus urged the public not to speculate on whether the attack was an act of terrorism, saying it's too early to tell.
Kalau namanya masih diselidiki, jangan dikatakan ini jumping conclusion bahwa ini aksi teroris, kita belum sampai ke sana ya. Jadi biarkan aparat bekerja dulu ya, pada gilirannya temuannya tentunya akan di.
Witnesses said the blasts came one after another as Friday prayers were ending. Forensic teams continued to sweep the site while police questioned students and staff as part of the ongoing investigation. Authorities say 3 students remain in serious condition while 17 others sustained minor injuries. Officials are urging calm as investigators piece together what triggered the twin blasts. Thousands of mourners paid their final respect to their late Queen Sirikit as Thailand enters a period of national mourning for the beloved royal matriarch. Anissa de Guzman has the story.
Mourners in Bangkok gathered at the Dusit Mahaprasad Hall Sunday to pay their final respects to former Queen Sirikit, who died at the age of 93 on October 24. Portraits of the late queen were displayed throughout the capital as attendees made their way to the Grand Palace complex. Volunteers at Sanamluang Public Park offered food and drinks to visitors lining up to enter the throne hall. The former queen was the mother of the current king, Maha Vajiralongkorn, and wife of the country's longest reigning monarch, King Bumibol Adolyadej. A 1-year official mourning period has been declared for members of the royal family and government officials. Many mourners said they felt a deep personal connection to the late queen, often referred to as the mother of the nation. Others traveled from provincial areas to be part of the historic moment, saying they plan to return throughout the mourning period. Queen Sirikit's remains will lie in state at the Dusit Mahaprasad Hall, where members of the public may continue to pay their respects until the official funeral ceremonies are announced. I'm Anissa de Guzman, your global citizen correspondent reporting for Newsline World.
Taiwan's Vice President Hsiao Bi-khim has returned to Taipei after a rare address inside the European Parliament. calling on democratic partners to deepen cooperation and safeguard peace in the Taiwan Strait. Hsiao spoke at the annual meeting of the Inter-Parliamentary Alliance on China in Brussels, a global network of lawmakers who advocate for democratic values. Her speech, titled "A Trusted Partner in a Volatile World," outlined plans for closer cooperation with Europe in technology, defense, and cybersecurity. Hsiao also called for support of Taiwan's participation in international bodies such as the World Health Organization and Interpol.
我也呼吁所有来自世界各国的伙伴，与台湾深化经贸与科技的合作，强化韧性以及安全的对话，同时支持台湾的国际参与，携手维护台海的和平和区域的稳定。
Parliamentary Alliance on China.
Hsiao said Europe remains Taiwan's largest source of foreign direct investment and a key partner in building a reliable, trust-based technology ecosystem. She also expressed gratitude to the European Parliament and IPAC members for their longtime support of Taiwan's democratic cause.
就是一直以来，台湾的国际处境都非常的困难，有很多的不公平，也有很多的挫折，没有一件事情是容易的。但是我们始终也没有退缩，因为我们相信台湾人民跟世界公民一样，都该有参与国际社会的机会。
China's mission to the European Union strongly criticized the visit, saying it violated the One China principle and damaged political trust between Beijing and Brussels. The trip marks Taiwan's latest move to strengthen its diplomatic presence in Europe as tensions with China continue to mount over sovereignty and security in the region. When we return, Michael Jackson takes the spotlight. The official trailer for Michael has shattered records, becoming the most watched music biopic trailer in history in just 24 hours. Don't go away, Newsline World will be back.
Maging alerto at handa tuwing may bagyo. Upang manatiling ligtas, narito ang ilang mahahalagang paalala. Manatili sa loob ng bahay. Iwasan ang paglabas, lalo na kung malakas ang ulan at hangin. Mag-imbak ng pagkain at malinis na tubig. Maghanda ng emergency kit. Manatiling updated sa lagay ng panahon. Maghanda ng mga flashlight at extra baterya. Panatilihing fully charged ang iyong cellphone. I-secure ang mahahalagang dokumento sa waterproof na lalagyan. Patayin ang kuryente, gas at tubig kung may banta ng pagbaha. Alamin ang iyong local emergency hotlines. Putulin o tapyasan ang mga sanga ng puno na maaaring mabuwal sa malakas na ulan at hangin. Lumikas agad kung inabisuhan ng mga otoridad. Maging ligtas at maging handa sa panahon ng kalamidad. Ang paalalang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng SMNI.
Ikaw ba ay namomroblema sa taas ng electric bill buwan-buwan? Huwag mag-alala, narito ang ilang paraan upang makatipid sa kuryente. Patayin ang mga ilaw at appliances kapag hindi ginagamit. Sa halip ay gumamit ng natural na liwanag upang makatipid sa kuryente. Tanggalin sa saksakan ang mga appliances kung hindi ginagamit. Iwasan ang paggamit ng maraming appliances ng sabay-sabay. Gumamit ng LED bulbs. Ito ay mas tipid sa kuryente kumpara sa mga incandescent at fluorescent bulbs. Regular na linisin ang mga appliances tulad ng electric fan, aircon vents at refrigerator. Magkaroon ng takdang araw sa isang linggo sa pamamalansya at paglalaba. Gumamit ng energy-efficient appliances. Tandaan, maging wais sa paggamit ng kuryente upang makatipid para mas gumaan ang buhay. Ang paalalang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng SMNI.
In our latest sports update, former NBA All-Star Victor Oladipo is taking a big step in his comeback journey, officially signing with the Wisconsin Herd, the G League affiliate of the Milwaukee Bucks, while Carlos Alcaraz opened his ATP Finals run with a solid win over Australia's Alex de Minaur, in turn boosting his bid for the year-end #1 spot. Let's hear from this report.
After a long recovery from a knee injury that sidelined him since 2023, Oladipo is determined to make his way back to the NBA. The veteran guard last played for the Miami Heat during the 2022-2023 season, appearing in 42 games and averaging 10.7 points, 3.0 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and 1.4 steals in over 26 minutes per game. Oladipo was expected to play a key role in Miami's playoff run that year, but went down with an injury in Game 3 of their first-round series against Milwaukee. He was later traded multiple times to Oklahoma City, Houston, and Memphis without suiting up for any of those teams. A former #2 overall pick in the 2013 NBA draft, Oladipo has logged 504 career games across stints with the Magic, Thunder, Pacers, Rockets, and Heat. His move to the Herd signals a renewed effort to reclaim a roster spot in the NBA. Meanwhile, the 22-year-old Spaniard displayed flashes of his trademark brilliance, firing 32 winners in a match that lasted an hour and 40 minutes. After a tight opening set, Alcaraz found his rhythm in the second to take full control. Entering the tournament with motivation, Alcaraz said he's determined to finish the season strong after struggling with form and energy in past years. This marks his third appearance at the ATP Finals. He withdrew injured in 2022 and failed to progress from the group stage last season. Alcaraz remains locked in a close race with Italian star Jannik Sinner for the year-end top spot. To finish #1, Alcaraz must either reach the final or win all his group matches, while Sinner must defend his title and hope the Spaniard falls short early. The victory also extends Alcaraz's unbeaten record against de Minaur to 5-0, giving his momentum heading into the next round of the prestigious season finale in Turin.
A splash of culture warmed the Arctic this week as a travel group released striking footage of two performers staging a traditional Russian folk dance at the North Pole. A heartwarming burst of culture brightened the Arctic after newly released footage showed two performers dancing in traditional Russian costumes at the North Pole. The Polar Travel Club shared a video this week in celebration of Russia's National Unity Day. The clip, filmed on July 7th, captures Chef Roman Grebenkov and hotel manager Veronika Semushina of the 50 Years of Victory Icebreaker performing a lively folk dance against the serene snow-white landscape. Both are seasoned artists who brought genuine skill to the moment. Grebenkov spent 7 years as a lead dancer with the Russian folk ensemble, while Semushina is a professional choreographer and ballet dancer. Their spirited performance of the classic folk tune Purushka Paranya added a warm touch of creativity to one of the coldest places on Earth. And in today's showbiz news, tennis legend Serena Williams was the guest of honor at a 2025 Baby to Baby Gala, where Hollywood's brightest stars gathered for an unforgettable night of philanthropy and purpose. Meanwhile, the official trailer for Michael, the upcoming biopic chronicling the life and legacy of Michael Jackson, has become the most watched music biopic trailer in history, amassing unprecedented global views within its first 24 hours of release. Stella Maris will give us the updates.
The former world champion, entrepreneur, and humanitarian Serena Williams was celebrated for her outstanding contributions to child welfare and women's empowerment. Serena accepted the Giving Tree Award, joining past honorees including Kim Kardashian, Jessica Alba, and Chrissy Teigen. The annual charity event raised an impressive $18 million to support children living in poverty across the U.S. and abroad. Held at the Pacific Design Center in West Hollywood, the gala drew a star-studded cast including Kerry Washington, Alicia Keys, Demi Lovato, Hailey Bieber, Kim Kardashian, and the royal couple Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, all dressed in designer couture for the Black Tie fundraiser. In her heartfelt speech, Serena expressed gratitude for the recognition and emphasized the importance of collective action, saying that every child deserves safety, dignity, and opportunity. Co-founded by Nora Weinstein and Kelly Sawyer-Patricoff, Baby to Baby gives clothing, diapers, and other essentials to underprivileged kids. The unprecedented amount of money raised this year will go toward its nationwide relief initiatives, which include helping homeless and natural disaster-affected families. The evening was more than just a glamorous event, thanks to Serena's star power and the unwavering generosity of Hollywood's elite. In other showbiz news, Michael, which directed by Antoine Fuqua and produced by Graham King, promises a personal yet epic look at the legendary performer's ascent to fame, his artistic abilities, his controversies, and his lasting cultural influence. When the trailer was released, fans of all ages praised the film's tone, aesthetics, and emotional impact, sending social media into a frenzy. The record-breaking preview garnered tens of millions of views across YouTube, X, Instagram, and TikTok, surpassing previous benchmarks set by Bohemian Rhapsody and Elvis. Industry analysts say the online buzz signals massive box office potential and a renewed wave of fascination with Jackson's story. Michael's real-life nephew Jafar Jackson plays the lead in the film, and his striking likeness and genuine performance have already garnered praise. Powerful renditions of Jackson's most well-known performances, including Billie Jean and Thriller, are also featured in the early looks. Set for a global release in April 2026, Michael aims to capture the complex duality of one of the most influential entertainers of all time. Now, the biopic is already establishing itself as one of the most talked about musicals of the decade, with anticipation running high and the trailer creating history. This is Stella Maris, your citizen correspondent, bringing you the latest showbuzz.
And before we end, may you be inspired with the words of the sun. The road to excellence is paved with discipline and corrections. It is love language for the wise. And as we keep track of the countdown, there's only 45 days left before Christmas. And that's all for today's edition of Newsline World. For God and my beloved country, the Philippines, I'm Carlo de la Peña. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
SMNI News Channel. Truth that matters.